Hello, lesson number 3. We've learned so much for the first 2 lessons. You now can get around the keyboard, you can play your exercises, and I hope that at this point you feel much more familiar with the keyboard. So let's get going and let's go to our lesson number 3. Today we're going to talk about intervals. So intervals are 2 notes that we're gonna play either together or apart. If I press, for example, C and E together, it builds an interval 3. 1, 2, 3. How do I build an interval and how do I count it? Because sometimes my students get confused with building an interval. So I basically include all the keys, including those that I press, into the counting process. So third interval or interval 3 is CE. Try and play it. Still remember about your hands position. So still remember that here we do not play with the flat palm. We use tip of our finger. Always check your position and keep your wrist up. By the way, do not sit too close to the keyboard. See, I'm giving myself a distance between keyboard and myself, so it's easier for me to see what I'm playing. So let's just try and first play intervals 5 and play around with it a little bit. So with right hand, I'll find C and G, something that we played in our steps exercises where our thumb was on C and actually our pinky was on G, and I'm gonna press those 2 together. Then I'm gonna move up to F, also familiar position. I'm gonna place my thumb on F and pinky on C this time, right? Next position is gonna be G, G at the bottom and D at the top. And then I'm gonna go back to C. So you're gonna play this sequence in right hand from C. It's gonna be interval 5 or 5th interval. See, you have 3 keys in the middle, and if I count all the 5, I have them from C to G. Then from F to C, I also have 5 keys, right? From F to C, but I'm only pressing F and C. Next one is G with D at the top. And I'm gonna return to C at the bottom. Let's play same thing in left hand. Pinky will go on C as if you were preparing to play your steps exercises. So I'm gonna have C at the bottom, G at the top. With the same hand position, I'm just gonna move up to F position. F is at the bottom, C is at the top. Now next one, G is going to be at the bottom and D at the top. By the way, we will always be reading all the intervals or chords from the bottom going to the top. So this one, for example, if you would ask me what is this interval, I would say it's D interval, not DG. It makes a huge difference because DG is going to be this interval, right? So it's important to remember that, always reading all the chords that we will be doing very soon and working on, and all the intervals from the bottom going to the top. So once again, CG, C is at the bottom, move to F position, FC, GD, and back to CG. What I'm gonna try to do next, I'm going to try and play 2 hands together. Find C position, C at the bottom, G at the top. Next one is F at the bottom and C at the top. Now I'm gonna move just 1 step up to G and D at the top, and I'm gonna go back to C and G. Next exercise, I'm going to find C, again C and G in both hands. Then I'm gonna move down to G. Look at this, I'm moving down, finding G at the bottom and D at the top. Then I'm gonna make just 1 step up to A at the bottom and E at the top. And then I'm gonna make a skip down to F. You following me? Do it nice and slowly. F at the bottom, C at the top. Let's try and do it one more time. You can go a bit higher up the keyboard if it's easier for you. C at the bottom, G at the top, then slide down to G, 4 keys down. 1 step up to A, and skip down to F. Same interval, 5. So believe it or not, but thousands and thousands of songs are based off this notes that we just pressed, this sequence. Isn't it magical? You might even hear that maybe some songs start raining up now, right? But we're going to talk about it just a little bit later. Now I'll ask you to play the school exercise once you're done with all the previous exercises. Let's try and get this last sequence and play very cool exercise. I'm going to be just playing bottom note in left hand, and in right hand I'm going to be playing the entire interval. So we will start, and let me play that note with pinky in left. So I'm going to press C and hold it in left hand and press interval 4 times, and let's press it at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's slide down both hands, just one note, just bottom note in left hand and interval in right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Step up to A, 2, 3, 4. Skip down to F. Let's try one more time. From C down to G. You're doing great. 1 step up to A. Skip down to F. So this lesson is pretty long, has different parts, and I bet that there's something to work on, but I'm excited for you. I want you to take time and try and build intervals, play around with that. Find those sequences between C, F, G, and C with a single note and with intervals. Then next sequence, C down to G to A to F. Practice each hand apart, 2 hands together, and then the last exercises we did play the bottom note with left hand and at the same time, and hold it, and at the same time press interval in right hand 4 times, and then you can swipe hands. So you're getting very skilled there, I see, and I'm very excited to see you for our next lesson. Please practice today, and I'll see you tomorrow.